This playthrough is rated T for teen.
Mom, can we have Final Fantasy VII? No, dear, we have Final Fantasy VII at home. Greetings and salutations, viewers. Vauldemare here with a new game from our library, and this time it's Shadow Madness, published by Crave Entertainment and created by Craveyard, the only game by Craveyard. This is an interesting game. It's a RPG in the vein of Japanese RPGs, except it's made by an American team, and the American team has made a former Square of America members to try and make their own studio and kind of get in on the hype of Japanese RPGs at the time, you know, in the early 90s, because this came out in 1999. One of the most interesting things about this game is it was headed by Ted Woolsey, who, for those who played old-fashioned RPGs back in the day before modern translations, if you played any like major RPG from the Super Nintendo era, he was probably the head translator for that. A lot of people remember him like Super Mario RPG, the Final Fantasy series, stuff like that. If you wait in the main menu, there's like sometimes cutscenes and stuff like that. But yeah, unfortunately, this is the only game Craveyard did. The game was a commercial flop, and the studio crumbled not too long afterwards, which is kind of sad. If you play the game, you can kind of see why it did it. But this game has a weird place in my heart. I remember I paid for it. I think I bought it for $20 at a Babbage's, like not too long after the game came out. I think the game was originally more expensive, but I think I got it on sale. But I remember seeing the cover and it said RPG on it. And I was like, I've got to try this. And this game, is, like I said, has a lot of problems, but has a lot of good things about it. Like the soundtrack is phenomenal, I think. Maybe not the best soundtrack ever, but it's a really good soundtrack. And the script is really good too. I don't know, there's just something about the writing on this is also very, very good. At least I think so. But anyway, before we start the game, let's go over some of the options menus. So this game is actually really, really easy, like even on normal mode. And if you do it on easy mode, it's literally baby mode. Like you basically just press X to win and you'll have no trouble in the game at all. The only difficult with it being so easy is that this game doesn't have a lot of levels and stuff like that. So the game will, you'll max out your levels like really fast in this game, and playing on easy mode and normal mode just makes the game just like go by a lot faster. So I'm gonna do more difficult mode where the enemies hit a lot harder and stuff like that to give it more of a challenge. If you don't want to, I completely understand. Then turn on vibration. I hate vibration. I think it's a gimmick mechanic, and I never enjoyed it. Never. And finally, we got special font. So there's a character in the game that'll have a very weird set of dialogue. So if you have trouble reading, you might choose like the off dialogues. But I like special font, even if it's hard to read sometimes. So, okay. Audio. I usually turn down the sound effects a little bit. Not too much. And then the volume a little bit, just below it. That sounds about good. Then you could remember the days of stereo and mono. Yeah. But anyway. Yeah, I usually like it about there's about. I usually want the loud sound to be just loud enough, so. Okay. Video, I don't think I really need to do anything with messing with the contrast. I don't think so, so we'll leave that alone. Controller, we can also change up the buttons or look at the mechanics. These are misnomers. Like the game is turbo. All it is just run. Well, I'll go over that when we actually go into the game itself. And we can watch the credits, but I'll save that for the end of the game, obviously. So, all right. Well, Shadow Madness, is the game truly madness? And where does the JRPG story lie? Let's find out as we start Shadow Madness. Hey, those cats are pretty hip tonight. You gotta take a turn on the stage? Nah, I'm not much for poetry, especially bad poetry. If it's okay, I'd just like to hang out for a while. Yeah, sure, no sweat. I like how all the characters have little portraits for them. So, yeah, because this is made in the PS1 era, and just like Final Fantasy VII, as much as we enjoy it, you know, graphically it's not aged very well. This game, so as just as much. Say, weren't you with the group that came in from the homelands? Yes. Tough luck. Not much left there from what I hear. Ashes, melted stuff. That's about it. Everyone's dead. Kyr's blood. Why don't you go crash somewhere? You must be exhausted. Can't sleep. Clown will eat me. No. You look like death eating a cracker. What does that even mean? Exclamation point. Like I said, a lot of the humor in this is very, very of its time, but I very enjoy it. It's the same with like, working designs translations. I just have a soft spot for this era of translation. Hey, no insult intended. I'm just trying to help. Help someone else. I just want to be left alone. I just want to understand. Understand what? Everything. This whole day. 1 minute life was normal, and then... Go on. And then everything went haywire. I shouldn't be here in Krillian talking to you. So, when did the dung hit the fan? This morning. It all started this morning. I'd spent the night in the forest after an argument with my stepdad. We'd almost killed each other the night before. Been like that for a while. Anyway, I made up my mind to become a crewman on a Silurian frigate. I was on my way back to say goodbye to Mom when... Alright, we're getting dropped right into the thick of it. This is our first battle. Unfortunately, I can't really explain or talk about the enemy too much because this uses a real-time action mechanic, so I'm gonna just finish this guy off and then we'll go about it as we get to it. So yeah, like I said, it's not turn-based. Unfortunately, this game is real-time, which means you have to basically kind of think about your moves and advance and get ready for it. We'll go over the mechanics here in a second, but yeah, you basically can't wait your time, especially if you're playing on the harder difficulty. Even then, the game's not that much harder. This game is kind of almost press X to win, really. But anyway, wow, it didn't take very long for our quaint peasant village to already get destroyed. Usually it takes like the first couple hours in the game to have that happen. Help! Can anyone hear me? This can't be happening. What was that thing anyway? Right out of a nightmare. I haven't found that sword. Should never have taken off last night without telling Mom. Maybe she made it out with Aunt Tara and Uncle Ron. Yeah, it's a reference to Star Wars. This makes no sense. Crazy. That hit to my head must have jumbled my brains. Gotta check the rest of the town. There must be some survivors. Please, please let me find someone. Well, there's a peasant woman. Over here. Help! Help! Miss Crave, are you alright? Did you see what happened? You're Ariane's boy, aren't you? Yes, ma'am. And then we could name him. Quick, what's my name? And then we could call him whatever, but his canon name is Stinger. I like how... So we got... So other than everything else, we got Taoism. I'm not sure what that is. Skull and crossbones, like poison or pirate or something like that. I think that's supposed to be a cog. A happy face. Was it clubs? Oh no. Spades, clubs, hearts, diamonds, and balloons. No, wait. And then we got... I'm trying to... I think that's the... Not the fleur-de-lis. I think that's the Iron Cross or whatever. Or not quite the Iron Cross. And then I think that's the... I think that's a symbol... Not Islamic symbol, but like it's some Middle Eastern country. I'm trying to remember, but you know, the moon with the star. I forgot. There's like some flags that use that. I don't know why. That's just kind of funny to point out those specific ones. But anyway, we're Stinger for the purposes of the game. I'm Stinger. Burning my house, my letters, my pictures, my kitchen, my family. She's in shock or something. I gotta keep going. I'll be back soon, Miss Crave. You stay put, okay? I'll bring some help. Hey, kid. I couldn't help watching you fight that thing. You're gonna end up bleeding before you even know it. Do you want some tips for staying alive in battle? No, I'm doing okay, or yes. Yeah, let's go over the mechanics. I used to be a gunner in the Armada. My commander taught me a lot. I still remember it like it was yesterday. Flashback. Doodle-doo, doodle-doo. Fighting is a filthy habit, but sometimes necessary. First, know that you can avoid battle by pressing L2 and R2 buttons at the sound of a monster's voice. You know, when I was doing the sound effects, you can hear the roar. That's the monster thing. So the way it goes is basically when you hear it, press L2 and R2, you'll duck under the ground, and then as soon as the voice disappears, you can do it. If you stay put doing that, you'll still get attacked. So you have to know when to duck and when to move. If you're playing on this in easy and normal mode, you can basically just fight everything and be fine. But the thing is, after a certain point in time, fighting every single thing in the game actually kind of becomes a chore. So I won't be fighting everything. Unlike other RPGs where I fight everything to kind of build up my levels over the course of the game in gold, I'll be avoiding a good deal of battles because, like I said, it's kind of... I'll only fight battles in certain areas to like level grind to get to a certain point just to make certain areas easier, but I'll probably avoid most fights. So, if you time it correctly, you'll hit the ground and dodge the attack. Resume your quest by releasing these buttons and continue on your way. Would you like to hear more about the Art of War? Sure. Then remember this. You must navigate through the battle menus by using L1, R2, or L1, L2, R1, and R2. Yeah, you can't just swap it with the directional button. The directional button is only supposed to do the initial menu when you're on that screen. So you saw for a brief second, you saw my character's portrait, and then you saw the different things, and then you saw L1, R2. That's your indications to do it. So yeah, it shows right here. Sorry. You can flee from most battles by selecting flee on the L2 button. You should want to fight. Should you want to fight, first engage an enemy. Yeah, if you don't engage, you won't be able to attack or anything. Look at that. And then once you've engaged an enemy or an enemy has engaged you, your battle menu appears, and you can do guarded, normal, aggressive, or special. Guarded basically, you do less damage, but it increases your evasion rate for the monster. If you do normal damage, and the monster rate has a normal chance to hit you. And then aggressive does more damage, but you have a chance of missing, and you're more likely to get hit by the enemy when you do that. Normal aggressive attacks are your best bet if you're not a magic user. Tap the action button quickly just before striking your enemy to double the damage. Timing is everything. Similar to, I think Woolsey picked this up from Super Mario RPG when he translated that, because that game also had this mechanic as well. Although that was turn-based, this was real time. But yeah, if you press X at just the right time, you'll get extra damage. I'm sometimes good at that. We'll see how it works. You saw in the first battle how I got a couple of double numbers when I did it, so. Or you can select items from R1 menu to rejuvenate yourself. Now the thing is about items in battle, the game does not give you the item descriptions during battle, so you have to remember what your items do before the battle. Otherwise, you're going to just be kind of guessing. So, because there's not a menu that'll pop up, because there's no, it's real time, so you have to kind of just keep working at it. So just remember your items and what they do before battle, and go from there. If you meet and travel with a magic user, you can view his or her magic menu by pressing the R2 button. Remember these lessons well. You must survive. I'll try my best. Well, I'm out of here. You should get a move on too. Nothing left to see anyway. What a shame. Yeah, I guess so. And during the overland menu here, if we press square, we can go into... we can immediately go into item menus and stuff like that. So if you press X, it'll show us our items. If not, you can back out with triangle. If we press triangle, we can go into equipped. So we got the leather gauntlet, studded armor, and duelist sword, and 2 accessories which you don't have. This shows our level, how much it takes to get our next experience, our attack, defense, agility, prowess, speed, and lockpick. Lockpick is our unique skill for Stinger, because I guess he's a rogue or a thief or whatever. So, and then he's got his HP, MP, and EP there. So, and then circle goes into magic. Stinger is not a magic user, so he'll never be using magic. So, we can run around the menu with the directional button. If you've got the analog stick function for this game, because this is a PS1, then you can turn on the analog stick, because back in the day with the PS1 you had to actually turn on the analog function, and then you could use the analog to run. If you don't have the analog, you can press R1 to run. Anyway, we get some key nuts. These things are pretty worthless actually. They only heal 1 HP, but okay, whatever. If we fight enemies here, it'll be a whoops, I messed up. It's a bull raiser. They have 45 HP and 110 MP. I usually would just want to go straight into it, because otherwise they could possibly do a lot of damage to me. Okay, so I was able to one-shot him by getting the double attack quickly enough. But what you do is you hear the sound, and then after the sound disappears, you stop. So I'm usually pretty good at that, but sometimes I'll make a mistake. Hey, dude. Vicious. She is Lady Luck. Bad attitude. All my mates beneath the waves. Oh, sorry about that, man. Oh, wait, sorry. What did he say again? Should have been me down there. An eternal peace. Never sleep now. Yeah. Anyway, here's our first mini-game of the game, the lockpicking mechanic. So, basically, lockpicking is a Simon Says situation, so you have to repeat the combination. We'll probably be using this quite a bit in the early game, but when we get to the later game where we can actually buy locks and stuff, or keys and stuff like that, we'll be skipping the minigame, because I'm not the biggest fan of Simon Says overall, especially for the harder locks. So, but I'll show you the instructions anyway. So you'll see 4 sequences of lockpick moves. When each sequence stops, you must repeat it. The higher the lock level, the longer the sequence will be. The directional buttons move the left pick, and the regular your face buttons will do the right pick. So if it moves left, you press left up. If the left pick moves, you either press left, right, up, or down. If the right pick moves, you press either square, triangle, X, or circle, depending on how it moves. So in this case, I moved right pick, so I press circle. So circle, circle. Circle, circle, triangle. Okay, circle, circle, triangle, circle. And that's it for the first lock. So success! The lock is open. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of this minigame, but... And we get a Dirk and Fear Tonic. Dirks are projectiles, and then Fear Tonics is a healing. They'll heal you for 50. So, yeah, I can't go this way, so... Oh well. But yeah, that's the way we unlocked it, so let's get out of here. Alright, let's head on to the left. Oh, I waited too long. If you wait too long, you get attacked, so... Sorry, I'm usually pretty good at that. I'm not trying to grind levels or anything like that, because this guy can hit me on pretty hard on this difficulty. So. Oh, he missed. Well, lucky for me, so. I didn't hit. You want to hit right before your sword drops down. Oh, by the way, there is a gold limit in this game. You can only hold on to 100,000 gold. Isn't that kind of sad? There's not like a max, like 99999 or whatever. It's only 100,000. So, oh, what is that? What's like a meteor strike or something? Shouldn't have left town last night. Maybe I could have done something. Could have helped somehow. So confusing. Can't tell where I am. Can't even recognize my own house. Hey, mister. Who are you? What are you doing? Alright, let's grab this, the ether drop. Let's see. Not every item I remember off the top of my head. Ether drops heals mana, but we don't have mana, so we can ignore that. Oh, yeah. Let me show up the Fear Tonic. Fear Tonic is 100 HP, and Key Nuts are 1 HP. Yeah. So, oh, and there's an item limit in this game. You can only have 30 items, so we'll be selling and dropping items quite regularly in this game. I was blown right off of my ship into the pit here. I reckon the rest of the crew went down with the boat. Poor saps, they ain't ever seen anything this beautiful. I think it's alive. What do you mean? Yeah, those random screams weren't comforting at all. Yeah, this kind of reminds me of Jehovah from Final Fantasy VII. That's why a lot of people really do, like I wasn't joking, a lot of people do compare this game to Final Fantasy VII. Anyway, picked up some gold here. 100 gold. Picked up some nails. Now nails are what's considered a junk item. So what it is they're only meant to be sold, and they can be sold at very specific locations throughout the game. Oh yeah, and the place we're at right now is Port Locane, for those who are curious. But the nails can be sold at a very specific location. It's like one of the later areas in the game. So you could technically hold on to items. Oh yeah, Nuked Breath, it's later on, if you can sell it to there for good money. But the thing is, a lot of people, because of the limit of items in the game, most people just sell it as soon as they can and get the least amount of money for it because they just want it out of their inventory. And usually the money you get from selling them at a very specific spot is usually not that big of a deal, to the point where like, oh, I should have waited this long. It's more like, oh, I should have just got rid of it and not wasted my time. But yeah, so it'll be a while till we'll be able to sell that item. But anyway, here we go. Death cheat. Death cheat. They restore. Basically, it's a Phoenix down. So yeah, death cheat, as the name implies. Evil tonic, or fear tonic. Sorry, I was misreading that for a second. I was like, what the heck? Anyway, we want to go to the right over here. All right. Wow. Two towers, huh? When did War of the Rings pop up in here? What the? Who's that? Hey, you! Stop! Come back here! Who was that? Let's head over there and see if we can. Whoever you are, I know you're here. Yes, come out now or you're dead meat. Dead. Do people still say dead meat anymore? What the? This lady looks like she came off the reservation. Literally. Who do you think you are, threatening someone like that? You don't even look like you could back it up. I live in this town. At least I used to, and yes, I can if I have to. Someone sure wanted this town to disappear from the map. Do you know what happened? Not really. I came back just in time to see the place get demolished. It happened almost instantly. I came from Ecklane. It looks even worse there. I was hoping I'd find some help, but... help seems to be in short supply. What's your name, anyway? Anyway, this is the healer of the game, or, well, she's a healer / magic user, Windleaf. So, yeah, she looks like a Native American, so... but she's very useful, and she's a ranged fighter. She uses projectiles, so... yeah, unfortunately, projectiles do have a limit. So it's not like some games where the archer can just fight whenever. It's more like a Final Fantasy IV, which Woolsey also translated, where you have to equip her with arrows or other types to get damage, and it does have a limit. So we'll mainly be using her for magic. But anyway, this is Windleaf, so she'll be our magic user. So, Windleaf. I don't know about you, Windleaf, but I'm not sure if we're lucky to be alive or not. I don't understand what's going on either. But for some reason, you and I were chosen to survive. We just need to find that reason. Why am I giving her a Jamaican accent? That's easy enough. We're alive, so the nightmarish creatures prowling around here can have a fresh supply of meat. You've already given up, haven't you? I'm not sure what I think right now. I should probably be on my way. On your way to where? Carillion? Or Carillon? Oddly, I would take forever to get there. I guess I'll try to make it to Fort Celeste and Barley Grove. Maybe these soldiers can help us sift through the ruins here on Incline. I'll come with you, if it's okay. I need to fetch some help. Suit yourself, but let's leave now. The most smoke around here is making me gog. Anyway, Windleaf joins the party, so let's take a look at her stats there. Yeah, she's got leather gauntlet, leather armor, and hunter's bow, and she's equipped with field arrows, which is +5 to her projectile, and she can't equip dirks, unfortunately. So anyway, yeah, 50 HP, 100 MP, no EP, which is her experience points. She's a mystic, level 1, 600 EP to the next level, and then magic is her unique stat. So let's take a look at her spells. So she's got, so anything in pink here are combat spells, so you can't use these outside combat. So we got Beetle, which raises our defense rating. We got Drake Ball, which is a fireball, and then we got the Hawk spell, which is a summon ability that hits all enemy targets. Fiery Bird of Prey. So this will be a spell we'll cast a lot if you want to kill enemies quickly. And then she's got the Soothing spell, which will heal us for up to 70 HP. Very nice. So that'll help us with this fighting any battles. Anyway, here we get two death sheets and 2 Darrow roots. So Darrow roots heal you or cure your poison affliction if you ever get poisoned. So now, sadly, there isn't a lot of information about this game in terms of like me going over enemy stats like I do, but a lot of enemies can be just press X to win. So I probably won't be going. I might go over their HP and MPs, but that'll be the most I do. Anyway, we go through these twin towers over here, or sorry, 2 towers. Ugh. We go onto the world map here. So Port Lacane. So as you can see in the right there, so we can remove the map if we need to. Those little dots there are locations we can interact with, and also like maps. They'll have like little drawings and descriptions and stuff like that. And if we actually go to, if we actually go to these little pictures here, you know how a map always has a serpent? Well, let's see what it says. Icon of a Dagarg. Feared and loathed by seafaring folk for centuries, these creatures were hunted to near extinction in the latter half of the past century. They are now protected and are making a steady comeback. Protect the sea serpent. And then these guys here. Icon of the twins. Legend has it that these two wandered away from their village in the dead of night. Found the next morning, there were little left of them except smoking ashes and the outline of 2 children. So, alright. Actually, let's fight the battle around here. Or I must have avoided it, so just to show off the creatures. Yeah, basically Mountain Pass is our next location. So. Alright, got a couple new creatures here. Alright, whoops. We'll just show off our field arrow a bit. Loppers here. Oh, whoops, I forgot to press the X button. Yeah, we'll just... Oh, good, he didn't poison her. Yeah, you're supposed to press X before she shoots her arrow to get more damage, but... Yeah, we got friend Sal for this, so... Yeah, on the world map, you can fight bull raisers, rudabagels, and loppers. They don't have a lot of HP. I think they have like I said, I don't have all the enemy lists off the top of my head, but like I said, if you just press X to win, you'll win. So, anyway, let's head into the Mountain Pass. Wait a second. What's wrong? Do you have something? Nah, nothing like that. I just had an idea. Yeah, I suppose that might startle you. Hardly, har. No, a friend of mine, Muggins, lives near here. I see. Would you like to check on her? Muggins is a he, and yeah, I would. Yeah, you know how a trope in a lot of books are like when you say a name and they're like he, oh it's she. You know, I like how the game like does a lot of silly humor as well as swap tropes every once in a while just to change it up a bit. You know, like I said the dialogue in the game I think is pretty on par. He might be able to help out. He's a tough old sod. We can use all the help we can get. Lead the way. Yeah, we automatically get moved here, so. What the? Yeah, I forgot he says that. What the? Stay back, Windleaf. It's one of those gadgeteer robots. And it's killed Muggins. Get ready to die, machine. No, wait, Stinger. I think I've seen this robot somewhere before. It's a gadgeteer mercenary. Kier's blood. Get ready for the fight of your life. Stinger, I hate to disappoint you, but this is a farming robot. You couldn't have killed this person. Besides, I think it's broken or something. We'll see about that. Hey, you there. What are you doing here? There. ... You're from Barley Grove, right? I've seen you out in the fields. ... This is stupid. We must be losing our minds talking to a busted robot. You check on Muggins. I'll push this dung heap off into the corner. Whoa, what the? Do not. And, you know, if I was going to do a voice, if I could actually do his voice, I'd actually voice him as Bender from Futurama. But I can't really do Joe DiMaggio's voice, so. It's going to kill us! Touch me again. Why didn't you answer us before? I was evaluating your status, friend or foe. Of course we're friends. If you are lying, I will defend. There will be death. Death? Whoa, time out. I wasn't trying to hurt you. If you don't believe me, then, well, take your best shot. Hoe us to death or something. Ho, you are in error. I wield a scythe, a tool designed to expedite the reaping process. Reaping process? As in the Grim Reaper? Correct. I am a reaper. A taker of barley, along with other grains and fruits. I am not an assassin. I am an Erie Works multi-purpose agricultural labor robot. Harvester Series, Mark V. What are you doing here? I was in the fields when Barley Grove was attacked. Before he died, my owner ordered me to seek aid. I complied. I came here. You arrived. That is all. You're kidding, right? That part about Fort Caliste being under siege? The fort has sustained significant damage by the time I left Barley Grove. My lands were scorched, crops burned. An unknown entity was attacking. It used mystic forces to wreak havoc. That sounds awfully familiar. Enough talk. I was instructed to seek aid. I have found it. You will come to Barley Grove. When do we follow the demands of farm robots? Relax, Stinger. We're on our way there anyway. There's safety in numbers. We'll go with you, robot. Oh, alright. It's a plan. Well, I'll go to Barley Grove. Great. Are you ready to go, robot? Yes. Just thinking, AWorks multi-purpose agricultural labor robot is a little long for a name. Ah, I understand. In Barley Grove, I am known as, and then we can call him whatever, but this is Har5, the robot of the group. Har5, that's a wonderful name. For a robot bumpkin, that is. I almost thought about giving him the southern voice, because he's basically a farmer robot. Not all farmers are southerners, but in America, that was always the joke. Stinger, we're all on the same side now, okay? Yeah, you're right. Let's get out of here. I don't know, I might change my mind. I might give him the southern voice, because doing the robot voice is kind of boring. But anyway, we can also examine stuff. Dirty laundry. Forest nuts and berries. Whoops, wrong voice. Wait, how are you critical? Wait, what? What happened? How are you in critical mode? You didn't get damaged. Did you? Huh. Well, anyway, if you lose, if you get knocked out, you go into critical status. So that is weird. Yeah, you can't heal critical status. You actually have to use a death cheat to get back. That is weird. She didn't get hit. Huh. Well, there's a rest spot up ahead anyway. Back issue of Mountain Man Quarterly. Whoops. Looks inviting, but this is no time to sleep. No, we'll get to sleep here later. Anyway, if we pick up some, we get some studded gauntlets for Stinger. Let's equip those on him. That'll raise his defense more than his leather gauntlets by 5. And we'll sell those leather gauntlets later. And over the course of the game, there's going to be books and random stuff we can read. They're not essential to the plot. You can ignore most of these books, but I'll be reading as many of the books I can find. Kierke's Fabled by the Brothers Woods. The Grimm fairy tale, basically. Read it? Yes. A poor woodcutter lived with his wife and 11 children in a small hovel at the edge of a forlorn forest. One day, while he was hacking away at the trunk of an ancient key tree, he heard a voice call out to him. "Chop the tree from the inside out." Thinking he was being accosted by a fool or maniac, the woodcutter put his axe down and turned to see who was speaking. But there was no one there. He picked up his axe and raised it above his head to continue his efforts, when again he heard the voice, "Chop the tree from the inside out." Now he's getting worried. He picked up his things and started to walk away when he noticed a rooster standing on a pile of rubbish. Thinking this was rather odd, the man approached the rooster saying, "Is it you who is talking to me?" Immediately the rooster turned into a man. The man said, "Yes, it was I. Do you understand my words?" Thinking about it, the man answered, "No, I thought they were stupid. I do not know. I do not know how to chop wood from the inside out." Immediately the woodcutter turned into a rooster and began to peck on the ground for food. Kurg, who had earlier taken the aspect of a rooster to teach the man some wisdom, just shook his head. Kurg picked up the rooster and stuffed it into a sack. "This will fetch a few good gold pieces in the market," he thought. Some people know what they know and go no further. These people are merely stepping stones on our path to enlightenment. Okay, yeah, it is a Grimm fairy tale, because a lot of fairy tales are like, don't suck your thumbs, and then the story is the kid getting his thumbs chopped off, and it's supposed to teach you to not suck your thumbs. What? Yeah, there's a lot of old Grimm fairy tales, but that's because it's based back in the day to teach children to not go out at night and stuff like that, so they make horrible things happen to the characters to say, hey, this is what happened to this kid, don't let it happen to you type of situation. It's a book. Yes, I'll read it. Day Trips from Carillon, the Homelands. By Louis Hubeck, Society Editor, Carillon Press, all rights reserved. Chapter 1, Gateway to the World, Port Locade. Known as the Jewel of the Southern Coast, this beautiful and peaceful port town is the gateway to Silveria and beyond. Children laugh and play in the marketplace as you make your way past stalls heaped with goods from all over the world. Sample exotic and tasty treats in the stalls and restaurants all over town. In particular, I recommend a dish of caramelized globe fruit from the deep forest sea, which you can order in any restaurant. Try dandiers by the sea, or mirajals on Bay Avenue for great views and top-notch service. Be sure to stop by the many dry goods and other stores around the port to find great values in clothing and equipment, including ropes, cookware, maps, and fittings. Cross and Hatchet Antiques is not to be missed, with its huge warehouse of furniture and household artifacts from the world over. I'll keep reading. Chapter 2, Enclane, Living the Past. To spend time in Enclane is to travel back in the time to a simpler, quieter existence. I spent a week here in the famous Enclane Niem Inn and was pampered every step of the way. The rooms were quiet and grand, and the food, featured game from the surrounding areas, was exquisite. I spent many a quiet afternoon sitting and chatting with the townsfolk, who often invited me in for a meal afterwards. Hike the countryside, slip into a bubbling hot spring, or swim in the crystal clear mineral pool at the foot of this hillside berg. Experience serenity in this lifetime. Chapter 3, Barley Grove Beckons. Country life, farms, and bucolic charm massage your frayed nerves as you relax in Barley Grove. I arrived at harvest time, being fibrous plants were being scythed, baled, and stacked for the rope factories in Port Locane. One surprise was the Gadgeteer-built agricultural robot that was tending a large spread. It worked tirelessly from morning to night, and I got used to seeing it out of my inn and window. If only we could all be so productive. Gadgeteer technology seems to be a growing presence even in the most rustic of Arcosian landscapes. This writer wonders if the technology really is for the better. At any rate, see the real Barley Grove now, before it's gone. Chapter 4, Forest Grove, just passing through. For those of you who have plenty of intestinal fortitude, make your brief stop at Forest Grove on your tour of the homelands. Nicknamed the Show Me Town of Arcos, this small hamlet offers a glimpse of country living at its worst. You might be invited in for a sour aid or some conversation. Don't be surprised if you're invited to leave instead. We know people who come here just to see how rudely they might be treated. And I Survived the Grove Club at Carillon offers folks chances to share their tales. Brave the Grove for a romp through the stereotypes you keep from your children from. Chapter 5, Don't Pass on the Mountain Pass. So many tales exist about the Homeland's caverns that we decided to explore the regions for ourselves. We collected stories from locals and investigated the many caves. Suffice it to say, you wouldn't miss a chance to mediate in these quiet heavens. The pass offers the finest specimens of subterranean flora and fauna. Moss-lined and peaceful beyond belief, the caves provide my children with a safe place to play for hours on end. We kept dry whilst the spring rain soaked the valley floors outside. Hiking difficulty is moderate. Huh, thanks for the lesson in the world, my friend. And there's Muggins there. This is bad. What could have happened to him? It's not natural. Rest well, friend. You will be avenged. I swear it. What? I guess. Oh yeah, I forgot to go over Har 5 here. Har 5 is a guardian. He has 100 HP. He's another frontline fighter. 0 MP, 0 EP, next 600. A lot of people level up the same in this game, so. His big thing is immunity. That's his special skill. Immunity to like poisons and stuff like that. He's got the stud helm, stud gauntlets, wood armor, and the worker scythe. And we can't equip him the thing because there's no reason to, and he has no magic. So, alright. Let's head on to the next destination. There's one spot we're going to get to. Oh, yeah, and I forgot to mention you can actually heal on the map. And if you're in critical condition, you can still gain experience like anyone else in the game. And there is a well, I guess I'll go over experience here in a moment, but okay. But anyway, let's continue on after that. So okay, let's grab the items here. We get a death cheat and a shovel there. Let's take a look at the shovel. Whoops. Well, I'll fight. Oh, okay, I'll fight stuff. So. Alright, there should be a couple enemies here, so yeah, we've got ourselves a few enemies here. Alright, we'll just shockworm. And then, I was about to say I'm not hitting them properly, so I keep missing. If you press too soon, you'll miss. And then we also got skeletons here. Yeah, you can't, if you're death cheated, you will not participate in the battle. Yeah, skeletons are pretty easy too, so. But yeah, we'll have to heal her to get her to participate. I don't even know how she got hurt. Like, but anyway, we go down here. Well, we picked up a Key Nuts 2 and Daru 2. I don't know how that happened, but okay. I don't want to use an item because we're actually we're almost at an area where I can heal her automatically. But anyway, shovel. Yeah, shovel's another item we'll have to sell later on. Shovel, you can sell it at the Benori Caverns item shop if you want to hold on to it for some reason. But like I said, at some point I'll probably just sell items and not even care about that. So I'll wait till we get to healing spot before I fight any more enemies. Oh, come on. Alright, fine. I don't mind fighting, so. And the reason I don't mind Windleaf not getting experience is because she'll gain a lot of experience pretty easily. Because there's a mechanic in this game where if you do the finishing blow on an enemy, you actually get times.5 your experience. I don't know if you noticed when I was when the battle ended that some characters got more experience than others, as you can see there. It's because, like I said, you get times.5 more experience when you beat an enemy. So, okay, let's go to this hut over here. Anyway, we get an item here. We get gold, 1,000 gold, barley shot, and an ether drop. Barley shot, huh? Let's take a look at that. Barley shot is a projectile weapon. So with certain weapons, you can actually have Har 5 use it. Kind of like how the Dirk is for Stinger, but you have to remove his duelist sword for that. I usually don't use stuff with a temporary, even if that does a decent amount of damage. I usually don't like using projectile stuff. Like I said Windleaf because that's pretty much all she can really do when it comes to stuff like that. So, all right, if we go up here, get ourselves a fear tonic as well. So, hold up, this is my cousin Brink's place. I want to check on him. The roof of this domicile is defective. It will collapse within 2 seasons. There might be death. There may be death. Kurt's bones, Heart 5. One more revelation like that, and I'm gonna find your off switch. Brink, you in there? Door's locked. Huh? Locked? What the? He must be out. Oh well, let's get going. You don't understand. Brink never locks this door. I'm surprised this door even has a lock. Something's not quite right. Considering the state of affairs, this is a prudent security measure. Yeah, what's prudent can be made unprudent. Is that even a word? Hey, what do you think you're doing? I'm picking the lock. What's it look like? No, we don't need the rules. Okay, right. Right triangle. Right triangle, right. Right triangle, right, left. Success! Alright, so nothing to it. Come on. I think there's some dialogue if you make fail, but I usually solve it the first game. It's not really that bad, so nothing to it. Come on. Wait, you want us to go in there with you? Hey, he's my cousin. Nothing to worry about. It'll only take a minute. Oh boy, come along, got 5. As you wish. Yeah, I think I might make him a southern voice instead. Get your hands up and I'll drop you where you stand. Why am I not surprised? He hasn't armed himself with a soup ladle. Run or we'll all be slaughtered. Brink, you knothead. What's gone into you? It's me, Stinger. Oh, these days, things aren't what they seem. Prove it. Oh, I get it. Fine. Where should I start? Okay, let's see. You enjoy fleece underwear adorned with cuddly animal designs. Hey! You were married 3 times by the time you turned 27. Wife 1 convinced you to join a pagan matriarchal moon-worshipping cult. You finally left her. Wife 2, Marina, smiled too much. She was always humming a little song. She ran off with a traveling minstrel. That was his name, Bespear. That's it. Wife 3 was the daughter of a notorious leather tycoon. Now she was... Enough! Stinger, I'm so glad to see you. He's after me. You gotta help me. He as in... I don't know. He's making noises out there all night long around the house, whispering. What's he saying? He's taunting me, threatening me. He calls himself... Tom. What, Tim the Enchanter? No, that's a different... Seriously, some guy named Tom is after you? That's it? He's not a person. He tells me he's a god, that he can't be defeated, that they will kill me. And I know he's telling me the truth. Stay away from him, whatever you do. An army couldn't kill him. Maybe this Tom is the one who killed Nuggets? He makes the whole house stink like rotten flesh. Ugh. Hang on, cousin. Take a deep breath. Relax. How about down your way? Is everything okay? How's Aunt Ari? Mom is dead. Brink. The whole house it's gone. Wiped out when something attacked Port Locane and the surrounding areas. First Dad croaks on one of his journeys, and now it was Mom. Oh God, no! I'm so sorry. I didn't know, but I just had this feeling, and I know. Look, there's nothing to say. And anyway, we've decided to make for Fort Calise to get help. You want to come? No, I'm not going anywhere. You don't have any unique design anyway. I think I've had all the joy I could stand for one day. You're all welcome to stay or rest up if you want. Thanks. You are a reader? I see a book. What? Oh yes, actually I do read a lot. What's the matter? Everything's the matter. The world's got crazy. Are you dense? No, the printed matter is what is the No, the printed matter was the subject. Oh, is that what you meant? Sorry. Take a look for yourself if you want. We're all on a little edge, Brink. Yeah. Maybe we'll take you up on your offer. We need a rest break. Would you like to rest for a bit? Not quite yet. Okay, suit yourself. Alright, we'll rest. Also, I do want to rest and talk to him, and we'll end up being able to save and stuff like that as well. But I also want to level grind a little bit here, mainly just to get everyone to level 2. But, well, looks like our journey has started up as the typical farm boy with his house defeated and destroyed. If we're going to get anywhere in this place, we're going to have to take Harvey 5 and Windleaf to our next location. Perhaps find a safe spot, tell people what's going on, and figure out what's going on. Will we figure out what's going on? Can we survive the madness that is the shadows? Find out next time in the next episode of Shadow Madness. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you next time.